The most powerful video editor just came to Android, Luma Fusion. I was waiting for that moment for so long time and finally it's here. The program is so powerful, but because it's compressed in such a small form factor, all the menus are buried, so you really have to deep dive to master that application. In this episode, I'll show you how to create new projects, how to edit, how to create custom animations in the program, how to edit audio, how to create transitions, and how to green screen. There are a lot of things to cover, so let's go! When you open the application, you will land on the project page. Here you will find all of your projects. When you click, you mark them and you're able to preview everything what that project holds. If you click one more time on the project, you enter in the editor. Let's go back and create our first project. On the bottom left, you find a small plus icon right here. First, you have the name of your project. Under, you have the frame rates and the aspect ratio. Most of the time, I'll leave them with the default settings to take the settings from the first video you import. But if you have recorded slow motion like 60 frames per second and you want to slow down the clip, we have to change the settings. So let's start with the frame rate. I would go most of the time with 29.9. That's 30 frames per second. Aspect ratio 16:9 is the YouTube standard, 9:16 is the Instagram stories. When we are ready, there is a small plus icon here on the top. We click it and our project is created. On top is the preview, under is our timeline, and under the timeline you'll find the media library. There is one very helpful icon right here where you can rearrange everything. So let's go to the default, import some clips, and I'll show you after that how to rearrange it to be the most comfortable for video editing. The flower icon on the left side points the source. We have Storyblock, you have media is your phone, you have My Files, you have Imported, and you have titles and transitions. When you click on a video, you get a preview. When you click 2 times on the video, it will automatically import it to the timeline, but you have to be careful where is the cursor of the timeline. Now, if I click 2 times to import another video, it will import it where the cursor started, so it split the previous video in 2 parts. And that's not ideal. You can also click and drag the video and decide exactly where you want to drop it on the timeline. To replace a video on the timeline with another footage, just drag the footage on top of the video you would like to replace and just drop it. And the application will ask you to replace the clip. Such a handy option. After we imported all the video clips to the project, it's time to gain a little bit more real estate and start editing. Right now I have a video marked, so the control on the bottom is different and I'm missing the option I need. So click somewhere outside of the timeline to deselect the clip, and let's come to the project arrangement and select only the timeline and the preview. With 2 fingers, I can zoom in and out the preview. So 2 fingers, poop, 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 poop. With 1 finger, you're scrolling through the timeline. Let's find a nice entry point for that video, right here. Now we have to cut the beginning, and there are 2 ways how we can do it. We can use the scissor, come back and delete the beginning, but there is a better way, much faster one. So let's undo everything we did. With 2 fingers, we click in between the timeline and the clip is cut. Find the out point again. 2 times click, mark, delete. It's so fast to cut a video clip. The next interesting part is the preview. When you play the play button once, the video will play normally. If you press it 2 times, the video will play in the loop. So when the timeline finishes, it will start over again. And there is one more hidden feature. When you press down the play button, you can scroll frame by frame. So you can be really precise with the timeline. And now we have the perfect moment. When you select a video, on the left side and on the right side you have arrows. Those are the trimming arrows. So just click on them and expand or reduce the video. On the left side we have the master volume control, and here on the bottom left we have a couple of hidden features. When you click it, you expand the volume control of each layer. The program allows you to have up to 6 layers, both audio and video. Here is how it works with the layers. Click on a video and drop it on top. You can control the audio output of each layer. You can mute it or you can boost it. When you click 2 times on the slider, it will reset it to the default setting. That shortcut works across the board for all the sliders and settings in the application. It's really handy to reset. Let's go to the second hidden menu, and here we have our layer controls. We can lock it so we can't edit it, and we can link it to the timeline. Let me show you how the timeline works so you can understand what I mean with linking to the timeline. Here we have 3 clips. If I click the last one and try to move it and I drop it somewhere far away from the first one, it will automatically snap to the last clip. So the timeline is very snappy. There is no empty space between the clips. There is one option you can activate on the timeline. It's that small arrow here. If you click it, the timeline is not anymore snappy and I can move the clips however I want. Now let's grab the first clip, and as you can see, the top video layer is linked to the first video. If I move the video somewhere, it will move with the video layer on top of it. That's the link option. So you have video to video link that you control with that icon here on the bottom. When I click it, the small white arrow under the video disappears. That means that we remove the link. On the bottom left of the preview, you have the info button. Press it and you'll get all the information about the project. If you would like to change some of the settings of the project, you come here to the bottom right, you have a gearbox with a question mark. Just press it once and we go to settings. So we can change the frame rate, we can change the aspect ratio, and under we have some default settings. When you import a photo, for how many seconds to last by default. Of course, you can stretch it or reduce it, but here is the default setting. That's very helpful if you're preparing a project and you know what you want in advance, how long to be the default title and how long to be the default transition. The next very important setting is the cleanup. If your phone starts being very slow and lagging, come here and clean up all the temporary files. That will speed up a bit the video editor. When you mark a clip, on the bottom you get some additional settings. The first icon is the delete one. Let's undo it. The arrows for undo and redo are here on top. Next to the delete button, we have the export. When you click it, you get a couple of options. You can export the audio, you can export only the video, or you can grab a snapshot. That option I use all the time to create thumbnails for my videos, because very often I'm forgetting about those thumbnails. You can just grab a frame from the video and you can see that the quality is really good. The next weird icon with the star are the effects. Unfortunately, if you select an effect from that menu, there is no way how you can remove it. You have to go to another menu. We come here and we click the edit icon right now and you can see all the effects we added. There is another way to access it if you double click on the video itself. There are 2 ways how you can remove an effect. The first one is to disable it. Just click on the eye icon, and the second option is to expand the menu, and when you expand the menu you get the delete button. Every effect has its own menu, and when you click on the name you're expanding the menu that comes with the effect. So check out the vignetting. You can change the intensity, so you can make it bright or you can make it dark vignette. Then you can control the point. That looks kind of magical. If you messed up the settings, you can just double tap and it will go to the default one. On the bottom you have 4 hidden menus. The first one are the general video settings. After that you have the speed control, the slow motion control, then you have the audio control, and then you have the effects tab that has another hidden tabs inside of that. Now let's start with the general video settings. The first one is the fitting mode. To be able to demonstrate it, it's better to import another clip. So here we have a nice horizontal clip. Let's click 2 times on it and now we come to fitting mode. If we press fill, it will fill the whole frame. Then we can choose the focus mode and then we can also stretch it, which looks ugly. That's how the fitting mode works. Over the fit mode, we have the mirroring, the rotation. Next, we have the cropping. So we can trim the clip from the left side, from top, right, or from the bottom. Like those are the standard settings. But additionally, we have 2 more settings that are amazing. So we have the corner radius, so we can make the clip mostly circle. And then we have the edge softness. That looks really nice. Under, we have the invert button, so you can end up with the hole in the middle of the clip. Really powerful feature. Let's reset everything and move down. After that we have the size and the position, so you have sliders to move the clip left and right, up and down. Of course you can use one finger and move the clip yourself. We have the rotation, we have the size. Of course you can use two fingers to zoom in and out, it's more comfortable with the fingers. Next we have the blending option, so here you can control the opacity of the clip, that is very helpful when you layer different clips. And under we have the blending mode, at the moment is set to normal. To access the other settings you have to click the hamburger. Under you'll find some really nice helpful settings. The first one is reset everything. Second, if you want to have two clips next to each other, you have half left and half right. And after that we have some predefined templates if you're doing a video tutorial. So you have a speaking head and in the background is playing something. With those presets you can do your videos so fast. Next we have the speed tab. And here is the reverse option. So if we want our video to play backwards, that's the setting here buried. That video was shot in 60 frames per second, so I can slow it down 2 times. And check how dreamier is looking now. Now let's move to color grading. Double tap the clip, so we enter in the edit menu, come here to effects, and we come here to the color palette. On the bottom you'll find a lot of presets, but if you want to do it the manual way, you click original and we are getting all our exposure settings. The first slider is the levels. On the left side we have the blacks. When we move them towards the white, the blacks are getting grayish, and the opposite, the whites are getting grayish when we move them to the left. In the middle we have the mid-tones. When we move them to the white, we are making everything brighter, and the opposite is getting everything darker. With that slider you can also control the contrast of the image. Just click the sliders in between, and when you move them towards the black or the white, you're increasing the contrast. When you move them towards the midpoint, you're decreasing the contrast. Contrast, no contrast. The brightness is the exposure setting. When you increase it, everything is getting very bright. When you decrease it, everything is getting very dark. Next we have the contrast slider. Up we increase the contrast, down we decrease the contrast. Saturation, vibrance, and under we have the highlights and the shadows. We can darken the shadows or we can brighten the shadows. That is one of my favorite sliders. And again, the same with the highlights. The upper slider controls the ratio between highlights and shadows. Now, something that is really cool here is that we have presets under, and when you click and like some, you can directly scroll down and see which settings were moved. To get a warmer image, we reduce the blues and we push the reds. The next very powerful feature are the LUTs. Just come here to the next tab, and here you have a list of LUTs, but the program allows you to import your own. Just come and press that icon right here. My LUTs are on the phone, so I just click My Files, and here is my LUT pack. Just mark the LUT and it will be automatically imported. You have the blend slider that controls the intensity of the LUT. If you want to get my LUT pack for free, just go to freegafo.com and sign up for my newsletter. When I release a video, you get a notification on your email. The next tab is called Styles. I didn't show you one thing. If you hold your finger over the question mark, you're getting hints what is what. It's a very powerful feature, especially if you're still learning the application. So here we can get some really cool feature. We can convert our video in some thermal one. We can use the blending slider to dial the power of the effect. X-ray, you can invert the footage. You can create a comic sketch. There's some really cool stylized effects. You can convert your footage to dots. You can get really creative here. Let's try dot mix. Oh, that one looks really nice. Next we have the different blurs, the classical Gaussian blur. When you scroll to the right you have the motion, the swish blur, the zoom blur. You can dial the intensity. Next we have the sharpening. Check before, after. Or if your video is too sharp, you can unsharpen it. You can do the opposite. Now let's go back and show you how to work with the green screen. Here we have two videos. The first one is a phone with green screen. Under it is a footage of me and my girlfriend. The task is to remove the green screen from the phone. So mark the clip, double tap, we come here to the key icon, green screen, Keying green screen, the icon is a key. Here on the bottom you can choose what you have, green screen or blue screen, ocean key. So there are a couple of options. We have green screen, so we tap on the icon and as you can see the default settings are mostly perfect. Oh, everything is quite nice. Let's zoom out and show you what the different settings do. The hue range controls how much color to be removed. If we increase the hue range, you can see that the whole image became halfly transparent because the green color is everywhere, it's mostly everywhere. Next we have the saturation range that controls how saturated are the greens that should be transparent. When you select 100, that means everything what is green, it has to be transparent. And you can see my windows are getting transparent, the plants are getting transparent, so it's not ideal. Around 50, it's a pretty good number. Next, we have the brightness range that controls the luminosity of the green colors. The wider the range, the bigger is the luminosity range that will be transparent. The erosion distance expands the edge. You can see the before and after. I like it when it's something in the middle. And then we have the edge blur radius. Usually I keep it to something in the middle. Not too soft, not too hard, something like that. When we are ready, just go back to the footage and here is the result. Pretty epic, I really love it. Next we have the transitions. Move the cursor between the two clips, click the plus icon and add a transition. There are more transitions, but they're quite hidden. First we have to go to the default view. Now here we click on the flower icon and we come to transitions. Check how many there are. Click on one, you can preview it, drag it over the old one and drop it. And now the transition is completely changed. With the arrows on the left and on the right side, you can control the duration of the transition. You can make it really long and slow, or you can make it very short and fast. Let's go to the most powerful feature of that application, the keyframe animations. Mark the clip, press edit, and here we have predefined animation. So let's say pan left, and let's play the video to see what is it doing. Just check the frame of the video and how the frame of the video is moving left and right. We can try the other direction. You can see that here on size and position we got a blue icon. Just click size and position and on the preview you get different dots. Those blue dots indicate a keyframe. The keyframe remembers all the properties of the videos and it's creating a smooth animation between two keyframes. So let's zoom in and pan left and now check what is happening. So I changed the first keyframe. So we are panning left and we are zooming out at the same time. Just come to the last keyframe and let's do 100% zoom. Or we can just press that button here and we'll fill the frame. The keyframe animations work for any property on the program. Our first clip is very nice and saturated, the second clip is very dark and moody. So the transition between the two clips doesn't look seamless. To improve it, we can come here to the colors and we can animate the ending of the clip. Somewhere here at the end we create a keyframe, scroll at the end of the clip, increase the contrast because the second clip is very contrasty, move the shadows down. I think I overdid it with the contrast. Now check the transition. We have the clip playing nicely and at the end we're getting dark and we move to the second clip. That's how easy it is to create animations in Lumafusion. Now let's go to the audio. We have 4 clips here and an audio track. So we have a B-roll footage, we have a footage how I speak, and then we have another B-roll. Now let me show you how you mute the clip. You come here, edit, you come to audio, and if you want to mute only that clip, you reduce the gain to 0. The gain is the volume of the clip. On the bottom you have different options. You have the high pass filter, the low pass filter, the equalizer. So if you're an audio guru, you'll find those settings amazing. I'm not so good with audio, so I'm sticking to the default things. On top we have the configuration, we have the ducking. That's the most powerful feature. I'll show you just now in a second. And here we have the channels. When I'm talking, usually I'm choosing to have mono voice. So here is the video with the song. And here I'm talking in the middle of the video. You can see that you cannot hear my voice. To be able to hear my voice, you have to come and reduce the audio exactly where I'm talking, but that's really time consuming, especially on the mobile phone. There is an automated way. We come to the clip where I speak, we press edit, and we mark that that's a master ducking clip. We go back and we just play it. Did you hear the difference? Automatically reduce the sound of all other audio tracks while I was talking. Now my voice is a little bit too quiet, so let's come back, go to gain, boost me with 5-6 decibels, come back, and there is another setting. So we come here to settings, ducking, and we can choose with how many decibels the audio track to be automatically reduced while I'm talking. So 20 is a little bit too less, so I'll go with something like 27. You can choose when the ducking to start. So we can dial it to half second in advance. Ducking start duration, ducking end duration. And don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, and see you in the next one. That feature is so powerful, it's perfect for YouTube videos or interviews you have to edit on your phone. It's amazing. There are a couple of settings I didn't show you. If you mark the clip and you would like to extract the audio, you come here and you press that button right here. And now you have the audio extracted out of that clip. To duplicate the clip, just mark it and press the plus icon right here. And now you have two identical videos over each other. Next we have the copy-paste of attributes. It's a very powerful feature, so let me show you how it works. Let's do something ridiculous with that clip so it's very visible what we have done. And let's push the saturation, the vibrance, and let's do some funky colors. Now click that icon right here, press copy, select another clip, press the paste icon, and here on top you can choose which attributes to be pasted. So press paste. In that way, you can easily transfer properties from one clip to another clip. When you're color grading, that's so helpful. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you would like to improve your video skills and get deeper knowledge how to create cool videos, don't forget to check my video course. This year, I'll add a lot of new tutorials. See you in the next episode. Bye!